this has given Lucius and I a nice vantage point on where this game has gone. Like after counting to 10, sees Luna crawl out. I think they're having fun without us.
Yeah, Lucius pokes his head and says, "What are you doing?"
What's on this then?
Oh crap! Lucius doesn't remember her like hitting on him trying to rebound, right?
Oh yeah, no, he probably wouldn't remember.
Okay, that's good.
No.
She would not want him to remember.
He's like, at least in my mind, I've always considered him like someone who's pretty attractive. So like,
he's like, I'm used to this.
Yeah, like
It's normal.
And like he's like as an attractive teacher, like a lot of girls like probably came over to him and were like, "Can you uplift my grades?"
And he's like, no. I'd do anything for an A. Study.
You can study Default's history, I've told you.
Pseudo-draw history.
Yeah, it's very official.
Draw fantasy.
Okay, does Luna just give up at that point?
Okay, then she'll like start over and be like, I just want to thank you for like helping us out with this. This is a really big deal for me. And then she'll lean in for the kiss on the cheek.
Okay, you can do another performance check with advantage because he just saved your life, so.
That is 17.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just give him a little peck on the cheek, and he's just like, "Oh, you're making me blush." You're welcome.
Then she'll like just smile and crawl back into the cart.
And Aravine's just like, "Okay." Sorry to take a tumble.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I grew up in doing ballet. I can get back on my feet pretty quick.
Okay, like he's like, the look on his face is like, I didn't intend for that. Oh my gosh. All right, Luna, it's your turn for.
Okay. Who hasn't been dared yet?
Well, at this point, Ciara and Lucian are now within earshot.
Do they want to?
So
They're low in a little ear.
yeah, you can. So Ellie, Ciara, and Lucius.
Yep.
Okay. I'll like kind of poke my head up and be like, Ciara, truth or dare?
Alright.
I'm scared of both things that she'll do. Thank you.
It landed on the end, so it's just like sitting there with the flat side up, and rolled a d4, and so like just point side down, and it's resting on the side, so hold on, let me re-roll that.
Oh my god.
Because it just landed like this, and I was like, this is not a definitive answer. This gives me no information. Alright.
That's fun.
Alright, so odds, dare, evens, truth.
Cool.
Dare. Alright, dare.
Okay,
Have fun with it. That's what I'm saying.
I dare you to stop the cart, get off, and eat the first berry that you see.
Oh, okay.
Thinks about it. Looks at Lucius. Alright then. Just like passing Patty on the shoulder.
To the field.
There's a field! Alright then. Probably figures she's gonna go out for the run, so she like unlatches the heavy parts of her armor, so she just lays it on top of all the stuff, and she just pats the caddy. Pull over! I have to use the little berries room.
Pulls over.
She sort of hops off the top of the cart and just like runs towards the field in particular.
She's like, if you can't find
She's like,
berries, mushrooms count.
Oh, I know what those look like!
I do know what those look like.
Well, those are easy!
Make a nature or
check.
nature or survival
Yeah.
would work for me.
What? 17 plus... Where's my nature? Oh, 3. So dirty 20.
Okay, yeah.
That's actually
So
good.
you find
Did
berry.
not know my nature was good.
Non-poisonous berries.
You pop it in your mouth. And make a con save.
She has no concept for these berries. She's like, oh, first one I saw! Thinks about it.
It's a bit tart.
As you take 17.
It's a 13 plus 5.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, that's like an 18. You're like, pretty good. You eat another one and...
You take 17 necrotic
Yeah.
damage.
Well-
Ciara takes her revenge.
You flow back to the carriage, your body follows you. It's a possessed
You're
bag.
always mine, child.
Yeah. Out there...
She probably like picks a few more, puts it in her palm, and like as she walks up to the cart, she's just like all eating the one. She's like, "Oh, awesome."
Can I identify them by looking at them?
Make a nature survival check.
Okay.
Ciara has no concept of what kind of berries these are. It's just wild, right?
That is 7. They're the red kind.
Sure are.
See if, I'm not sure. Because you're in an area where the berries you're used to are not indigenous, so...
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take one and eat it, and then I'm gonna make my nature check.
Okay.
The irresponsible one returns with some fruit.
Alright, nature check.
Oh, terrible. 10. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, I mean, you eat it, it's pretty good. They're like, they're kind of like orange, almost. Like an orangey, almost pink color, and they have a lot of little, they look like blackberries, but they're like an orange pink.
So like light raspberries.
They also, like, they have like little thorns on them, so you kind of have to like watch out for that. Yeah.
Alright.
So, also, like, in the distance at this point, if you're, like, traveling, because you're going over, like, hills and stuff, so, like, you can see that there's a band of horseback riders behind you, but they seem to be keeping their distance, and, like, you look over and, like, the way far distance, it's, like, you're at the top of a hill, and you can see, like, miles ahead of you, and you can see that there's this big, like, wagon train. They look like they have lots of wares just by, like, the size of the wagons, and there's just a lot of them. So, like, you can gather that maybe there's something going on. Do you mention it? Like, oh, look over there. Or do you just not mention it?
You can just, Uncle, this is truth or dare! He crawls back up in there.
You see him, like, he's resumed, like, lounging on top. Oh, I'm feeling lazy. That was the truth.
Alright. What's your favorite thing about the topside so far? And it can't just be her bath, alright? That's too easy!
Or anyone else's bath.
Oh, don't take me too crass on this one about the women. They're not nearly as terrifying.
She
Fair.
thinks about that for a moment, she's like, oh... Because it has to, like, register and, like, click somehow, and it's like her brain's sort of like, huh. I'll take that to mean something. I'll have to find out for myself. Just casually, I'll have to find that out for myself. Sort of, and then as if it were an afterthought and not important, because it was just like, oh, that's a thing, but then just like, Ghost in the horizon.
Luna was starting to look cheery again, like, after the game, but then she's just like, what do you mean there's guests? We don't have to talk to them, do we?
Luna, you look out the window and you can see they're, like, miles ahead.
Okay.
Just this, like, caravans. Make a history check.
Okay. Nat 1, so 6.
Okay, it would be really low. So, like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You think about it, and it takes you, like, a couple of minutes. Like, you look at it, and then, like...
Go down the hill, up the hill, oh, it's back.
You, like, think about it, I should know this. And then you're like, oh, wait, it's near the end of summer. And that's when the Lychester Kingdom celebrates its Independence Day. So, you gather that's probably what they're doing. They're probably gathering for the celebration.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Does Uncle Licious dare Ellie to anything?
So he looks into the cabin and sees Ellie looking pretty smug, and he says,
Smug.
"Alright. How about you, Ellie?
Who, me?
Shoot some dare."
Here, because everyone else has been doing it. I find it. There it goes. Truth, even dare. Dare! But I say it more elegant. Dare!
The next lad you pass, before you can speak to him, you have to put your hand in his armpit. I don't know.
And so he he leans over and I guess the socks aren't like dirty anymore. Okay.
They're all prestidigitated.
My socks are all prestidigitated? How could you do this to me?
Is it prestidigitated or prestidigitized?
No, you're creative. How about this? Think of a nickname for everyone based on what they're wearing.
That's my dare?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a typical Tuesday.
I look at Airvan, Spory, and then I look at Oreadr, Baldy, and then I look at
Hey.
I look at Keontae, Cleany,
Wait, what did you say?
Cleany.
Clean.
Cleaning? Oh gosh.
I look at Ciara, and I go shiny, and then I look at and then I look at Luna, and I give her a big hug, and I go fuzzy.
She was worried that she was going to be a furry, and I feel like the concept of furry is not foreign to Verkus, so... Yeah. So she's like, okay,
Yes,
fuzzy,
now
I can do that.
We're all like we're all the 7 dwarves, right? There's 7 of us?
Yeah?
Well, there's little Lucian, and he's just like, "Oh, you forgot me."
Oh yeah, Lucian.
Lucius. Sorry, Lucius.
And then I look at him, and I would go sleazy.
Oh, you warned me, little one.
Kiara throws her head back.
But yeah, he's just howling on top of the car. He's having a good time. So, unless you guys want to do another round, we'll go for
I
it.
think that's probably enough.
Let's go forth.
All right, so you up, and as night begins to fall, you guys come to this valley between the hills, and you can see that there's this kind of like little camping area. It's a little out of the way, but you can see that there's kind of this like a pump, and what's her name again? Jan. There's Jan. Jan comes off and he says, it's a little out of the way, but he goes over to the pump and bumps it down a few times, and then after a while it starts to just activate on its own, and it pumps up water, and he turns his valve and he says, we got some nice, we got some rudimentary showers here in case y'all want to take a little dip. And then there's like these basically little like stalls, and there's a latrine. So he's like, it's just a little nicer. Oh, whatever. And he starts to like set up the camp, and this is really stupid, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So, Keontae, you see Oreadr very obviously pull Airvan aside, and he says, "Airvan, I got something cool to show you." And he looks over at Keontae like, like distinct eye contact, and he's like, "Not for Kathy's, only Airden." Well, everyone else, just not Kathy, not you. And then he pulls up this slip of paper and like kind of like turns his back to you and looks over, and he's like, "Check this out, Airden." And Airden's just like, "Order, did you bring me aside to show me a picture of cleavage?" And he's like, "No. And he's like, "It's a picture of a butt."
It is cleavage, just not the type you're thinking. Oh.
We've seen all the places.
And Lucius is just like, "Well, I want to see that." And he picks it up. He's like, "Oh, I mean, you got to make it a little more realistic." And then Order's like, "Okay." So he like pulls out a pencil and like just adds something. He's like, hands it back to Airman. And Airman's just like looks at it. And then he blinks and then folds it up and just hands it to Kathy and walks away.
It's like this. Not looking at it, just like, why?
Ciara takes it. Well, I'm curious now.
Okay,
You see?
whatever.
You
Enough
see-
of this. I'm tired. And she just walks over the hand like,
Yeah, and I lean over towards Ciara just to look at the picture.
So the picture is just like a crude drawing with pencil of two C shapes, and then like a little squiggly bit next to it.
oh gosh.
Is,
Oh, it's
True.
so alright.
yeah, is that a poop?
Yeah, it's for realism. And now it's a masterpiece. My true calling has been lost to me.
Yeah, you see, Ellie kind of has like a confused look on her face, and she's like, "It's so lifelike."
Well, you know, art's about being raw. It's just
Ciara's just like, no, it might be just because I've been in the dark a lot of the time, but I really like that you play music as a regular hobby. I've only ever seen art in the dark, but I really like the music you do.
Well, if that's not a cue for me, I don't know what is. He just he pulls out his mandolin and starts playing it again, and settles
She's like,
down by the fire.
And she does this little, I'll play with you later, I'm gonna go get washed off. And she just
Yeah.
sort of makes her way to the shower.
Yeah, so Luna goes with you, and I feel like she takes an abnormally long time in the shower. Just because and like I feel like the like creepy black veins have spread even further and gotten more dense.
Yeah,
Around
more
her.
like
It's like-
throbbing and like
Yeah.
like the act,
The bite.
yeah.
It's like I feel like it's like in the area it's almost like almost completely black, like it's just little specks of her normal skin color left. Like it's just kind of really gross. And so she's just like, no. Maybe ask not Ciara, Chianti if she can do prestidigitation on it later or something, because it's kind of oozy and that's gross. Actually, should I call Chianti over now?
Okay, yeah.
Like, yeah. Because she's no stranger to being like undressed or partially undressed for medical reasons, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, you call Kathy over.
Chianti, can you help me with cleaning my wound? You see, it's kind of oozing black stuff out of it.
Yes, of course, sure. Yeah, so Kayanthi is still just a little like, about that butt picture. But she can flip back to her, oh yes, of course, I'm happy to help you. mode.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
right now.
Do a religion check to see how well this works.
Oh, good, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. I rolled
you
a
use
17.
prestidigitation on the wound, and it like the puffiness and like kind of like the ooziness, like it actually like goes down a little bit. Like the swelling goes down a little. You're not like exactly sure why, but it seems like the divine can have some kind of influence on the curse. You just have to know how to direct it.
Yeah, Luna assumes it's just as cleaning out the like. I think they just have I don't think they know. How much would they know about like microbials in this time period?
I think they would like kind of just be like discovering them.
It's like, I think they at least understand that it's like, okay, if you leave an open wound, like, it'll start getting really nasty, but if you clean it, then, like,
Yeah.
you're
Like,
fine.
they know enough about, like, medical stuff. So, yeah, they know that wounds need to be cleaned.
Mhm.
They don't exactly, like, understand why, just that they do. How late are we going tonight, guys?
We did start late, but
Yeah.
it depends on what we all need
It's
to
like-
do.
I could continue, but I'd have to take about a 20-minute break to drive over to the other place because
Okay.
I'm going to our move-in house. WoW just came here, stopped so that I could grab the
Okay,
stuff.
Do
So
we
I
have
could
to
move
get
it to the other
going
house.
soon, or?
But
I,
I'll probably end up getting going since I don't stay
Alright.
up too
Alright, so
late. But like,
Yeah,
bring
I
in
I could stick around for a little longer. Real quick though, Ciara does come back to the fire after she's done getting washed, but because she likes to wash her armor, independent of everything else, she just sort of has this, like, her hair is not braided, so it just has to drip dry, so she's just sitting there, she walks back, like, with her tights and the long, white vestige that she wears underneath, or the cream, like, cream linen vestige that she wears underneath her armor and stuff, and she just sort of just walks back, hand holding a lot of her hair, and then just like hoisting the armor underneath, sits down, proceeds to dry off and clean the armor, like just sort of dry it off so it doesn't rust, and just let the hair drip dry. So she has a lot of hair. It's just not braided like it usually is. So she's just like
they're
drying
doing, like,
off
the
by the
hair
fire.
wringing thing.
Evening. She sort of like rolled it up, set it on her shoulder, and if it falls off, she doesn't mind it. She doesn't care if the ends get dirty. At this point, she's more worried about her armor resting, so she just sort of like spends more time like drying it off by the fire while her hair sort of just drips dries. She wrung it out while she could before she left the showers, and so she's like, "All right, let's grab my stuff and get it warm by the fire."
I'm trying to see if Aravan has anything that would be like useful acting.
It seems in bad form to just wring your hair out on the fire. Although that would be really fun to do.
Just a little like steam comes up. In my headcanon, Lucius is kind of extra, so he has like this like big tanks and like it's fancy. And then he comes out and he has like this luxurious like 1,000-thread towel. And he's just like,
Lucius,
"Here,
it's luscious.
luscious, have this luscious towel."
Lunch this ritual.
This comes
Yay.
Ciara pauses. Thank you. I was afraid I was gonna catch a cold. Thank you. Just like drink.
Yeah.
Appreciate
So you
that.
guys settle down for the night, and the night is still. You all like start going to sleep. Is there a watch going on?
I can take the first watch.
I know Luna wants to say a quick prayer again.
Ciara
Okay.
can
but
say
this-
it.
We're all just gonna stay up and look at each other.
Because Luna, it's like she knows that like her grandpa was very like kind and supportive and stuff, and she's been feeling that support, and it's great. But then she's kind of like she doesn't remember her super great grandpa Linus very well because she was like 4 when he died. But she remembers like the stories from her mom because they didn't get along well about him being kind of like a control freak.
Okay.
And she remembered when she just interacted with him in the dream that she had, and how he was just very like matter of fact. He's like, okay, I know Poppy's being really supportive, but am I actually on the right path?
Okay.
You'll be honest with me.
All right. Make a religion check.
Ooh. Nat 20s or 24
Wow.
plus.
Yeah, that's the highest.
Yeah, that's the highest I get. Plus 2. 26.
Wow. Okay. Can we do this next week?
Sure.
Okay. So, you definitely, like, feel the connection coming in fast and strong, and we'll say, like, you fall into like a sleep, vivid dream trance sort of thing, and you come into this dreamscape, but it's your family's land with like the trees.
The apple trees.
Yeah, the apple orchard. That's where you are. And you see... He's tall, right?
Yeah. Arnold's
all tall. Yeah, you just see this tall figure approaching you. And it's Great-Grandpa Linus. And he says, "Go on, Luna. It's time I showed you some things." And you turn around and just like kind of like see him silhouetted by the sun, and that's where we're gonna end. Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
Ooh.
I like the idea that Ciara really liked the Truth or Dare game. So that at random intervals, whether she's really frustrated with someone or if she's really trying to just like she's feeling like a little bit entertained, she's gonna be like, I'll nudge someone on the shoulder. Truth or Dare.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Just like we've already played that.
Yeah. Luna
It's a
really
game.
wants to
She
play
likes
Never Have I Ever
games.
now.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
Luna's probably gonna propose that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can propose that because I've Ellie's
What's
never.
it called? Bed, wed, and whack.
Both Ellie and Michael has never played that. I have never have I ever.
What's D&D match?
That's fun.
Yes, the little fire awesome for
Color, number. You're a fool.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you so much for listening to Dungeon Damsels. We really appreciate all your support. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us out. And if you're interested, we also have a Patreon as well as a podcast version of our show. You can find it on Spotify, TuneIn, Podcast, Podbean, and pretty much anywhere where podcasts are. Thank you again so much, and we hope to hear some